A student has registered for a course called Physical Science and has entered the online classroom and can currently see the instructions for active lessons. And if we scroll down a little, we can see that in this particular lesson, called The Basics, the student must complete a task, participate in a graded discussion, take a quiz, and complete an assessment. So let's take a look at the quiz. The student can take as many practice attempts as he wishes of this particular quiz, and when ready and feeling sufficiently confident, can then take the one graded attempt, and that is the only attempt that will contribute towards the student's grade. So let's start by taking a first practice attempt. It's a timed test. The student must answer 10 questions and had 10 minutes. So the clock is ticking down. When there are just 3 minutes left, yellow bars will appear down the side, and when there's 1 minute left, red bars will appear down the side. So the student knows when time is getting short. You can see, because this is a practice attempt, the student can take advantage of hints if they are provided for a particular question. So in this first question, true or false, mass measures how much matter exists in an object. So if the student would like to see the hint, clicking on plus will do this. Your mass on the Earth is the same as your mass would be on the Moon. Even if you're weightless in space, your mass is unchanged. Okay, so does that help me to find the correct answer? Well, I'm going to say that this is true. Notice that these are radio buttons because when the designer set up this quiz, for this particular question, multiple answers were set to no. And so the student sees radio buttons and can only select one answer. If multiple answers must be selected, then the student would see check boxes and must check the box for each correct answer in order for that question to be marked correct. So now let's go down to the second question. How many decigrams are in 0.81 kilograms? Well, I'm doing this in a hurry, so I may or may not get this right, so I'm going to just select some answers. And randomly select answers at this point. Of course, for each one you can see that there is a hint. Question 7. Question 8. Question 9. And question 10. And when the student is ready, then they click on the Finish button. They're asked to confirm, yes, I want to end the quiz. And because this was a practice attempt, the student can immediately see their answers. Their answers are identified by the radio button. The correct answer is identified by a gray shading around the button. So in this case, the student got the answer correct, and here is the explanation of the answer. Here is the next one, and this is a rather more complete explanation. It shows the workings of how the student should arrive at the correct answer. Here is question 3, and the student got this wrong. You can see the student chose the fourth answer. The correct answer was the third answer, and it's highlighted in red, so the student knows that this answer was incorrect. It's also pointed out here to the top of the answer. So now the student has reviewed all of these answers. The student can now go back to the previous screen and immediately take another practice attempt. Now, at any time, the student can go back and look at previous practice attempts, so they can remember the material, remember why they got an answer incorrect, and so on. And so it's an excellent resource for preparing for a final exam. When the student is ready to take the graded attempt, then he clicks on the graded button. Notice this time that no hints are provided. The student must just go through and answer the questions in 10 minutes. In this case, I won't answer any of the questions, so I will get them all wrong, and I will finish. And now the student has completed the graded attempt. But notice that the student cannot see the answers to the graded attempt, because you may have assigned the same questions to all students when defining this particular quiz. And if one student can see the answers, then there's the possibility of passing those answers along to other students. So even though the practice attempts can be viewed at any time, the graded attempt, the answers can only be seen when the activity itself is over.